Tron 3, Jared Leto, and there's Backlash? I don't know about this. Hey, welcome to Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including what's going on with that Alec Baldwin case. Jason Momoa has a surprise announcement about the DCU. What could it possibly be? Scream 6 debuted a trailer and some posters this week, or some images that have given us clues as to maybe some of the plot that we'll take a look at. And then Tron 3 news is coming with Jared Leto, and there's some backlash that we'll talk about. But we start off today's show by talking about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Yes, Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon has to be 2 movies, explained by producer. Byford Hobbit in live chat says, hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, the massive scope of Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon means that it has to be told over the course of 2 movies, as explained by Netflix producer Ori Mamour. Yes. Now, guys, if you follow the movie news headlines like we do, we knew that when Zack Snyder signed this deal for Netflix, that Rebel Moon was going to be 2 parts to be, well, that's just the deal that he signed. So we were understanding that it was going to be 2 parts. Sofia Boutella, we saw a little sneak peek of it this week, guys. My reaction for it is up on the channel right now in a shorts version. Go check that out, because it was only like, 7 seconds of footage? But, yeah, let's just take a look at what the producer had to say. Maybe it'll shed a little bit more light on the subject. Zack came in with so much passion. Oh, I like that, passion. Yeah. This is a film that he had in mind for decades. As you know, he spent much time working on other people's IP at other studios. The DCU, yeah. We worked with him on Army of the Dead, and we did things that others couldn't do. We made a film and then a prequel and launched a live experience. With Rebel Moon, he wanted to push the envelope again. When we saw how big the world he created was, we thought it would be better served as 2 pieces versus 1 film. Ooh, you like that? It's just the kind of story that can continue to grow. He thinks of it as his take on making something like Star Wars. Well, we got a little bit of that swashbuckling feel, the gun-toting, bounty hunter-esque kind of feel from the images that we saw of, like, Sofia Boutella throwing down. But, he's filmed, like, Rebel Moon is going to be like Avatar 2 and 3. They're filming it back-to-back, so when the second one is done, they'll already have the third one in the can, from what I understand. Yeah, they weren't going to do it like Dune, where it was kind of like we film part 1 and see how well it does, and then we'll greenlight part 2. No, guys, that's not the way to go. And Netflix is ahead of the ball on that one. But yeah, if you didn't know, that's why Rebel Moon is going to be in 2 parts. Cora, Sofia Boutella, is going to be the main character. Is going to try to seek aid and warriors from across the stars so that the colony can break free from the oppression of the Belisarius. The Belisarius are probably the bad guys. This is the evil empire, basically, right? And she tries to find warriors from around the galaxy to help that out. Sci-fi, guys, it is our bag here. What do you guys think about that story? Let me know in the comments. Just to clarify some details about that. You always got to do that, right? Okay. Hey, if you didn't know, we do a live news show daily, 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday, right here on the channel, where we talk all the stuff. And you can follow me on all the other social media handles there. Sometimes I publish stories behind the scenes of me going to the movie theater and stuff like that. And yeah, on the TikTok and Instagram. All right, let's talk about this Tron 3 Backlash. What the heck is going forward with this, right? Tron 3. Moving forward with Jared Leto. Yeah, this broke late yesterday, and I didn't include it in the show notes because it just literally happened after what we did. But it's a 24-hour news cycle, so we'll get all the big stories, right? Pirates co-director Joachim Ronning will helm the sequel to Legacy. Okay, well, you know what? I got nothing wrong with Jared Leto as an actor, except for some of the reports that we got about him being a little too over the top with the method acting when it came to Joker, mailing dead rats to people, that kind of thing. Yeah. And maybe that's what's sparking this backlash to him. I don't know. We'll have to figure this out because Tron 3 is moving forward at Disney. Jared Leto has championed the project since 2017. Yeah, we heard that he was on board trying to make this thing happen. The film, titled Tron Ares, has a script from Jesse Wigatow and will follow 2010's Tron Legacy. So then will Jeff Bridges come back? I don't know. Jeff Bridges was starring as a video game designer, Kevin Flynn. Yeah, we don't need to know we know what Tron is about here. The second film, yeah, we know about that. It was directed by Joseph Kosinski, Garrett Hedlund, and Olivia Wilde. I want to see Olivia Wilde come back. Garrett Hedlund, I could give 2 rats patooties. Yeah, he wasn't very charismatic as a leading man. What I would like to see is more Tron, like the character, and more Clue. Figure out a way to bring back Ram. That's what I want to see. But anyway, we need to do a retro trailer reaction or trailer movie reaction to Clue. And when I sign back up for Disney Plus coming in March, if it's on Disney, I have the DVD actually. So maybe I'll just put that on the computer and we'll do that next week. Next Thursday, maybe we can do that. Yeah, because I like Tron. And then, Tron 3. So, who's the director? Joachim Ronning. There he is, guys, right there. Norwegian film director. Wait, did he do a movie with Angelina Jolie? I like those movies, The Maleficent. I was late to the party for the Maleficent 2 as well. Actually, I think Maleficent 2 is better than Maleficent 1. And I would love to see Angelina come back to finish off that as a trilogy. Because I really liked her as that character. And I know she wasn't the big bad guy that people wanted her to be, but actually I found her quite charming. I did. So is that what he directed? Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Doomsday, 2017, TV movie. Okay, TV movie, not that movie, Doomsday. Marco Polo, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales. Okay. Yeah, so that's who he is. Untitled Pirates. So he's in development for that as well. Young Woman and the Sea. Okay, for Tron 3. That's apparently supposed to go into production this fall, guys. This fall. But, yeah, let's talk about that backlash. Jared Leto's Tron 3 casting gives divisive response from the internet. So people out here on the interwebs has not taken kindly to Jared Leto taking on the Tron franchise. I don't know why. I mean, we just last saw him in Morbius. And we still need to, no, actually, I lost my, that was on Prime, right? And I don't have access to it. We were going to do a watch along for Morbius. I just got caught up towards the end of the year there. But anyway, yeah, so let's see what people are saying. I'm guessing it's all going to be on social media. Yes, finally, Tron 3 is happening. Starring Jared Leto. Yeah, so as you can see, they're putting up the memes there that people are... This is just fandom out there. So this is probably the Tron fan base. Our Glass Viking says, I'd sooner see a Last Starfighter sequel than another Tron movie. Yeah, and it's just people putting up memes of them getting less excited about it. Like, they start off excited and then they get this weird look on their face, right? I've been waiting how many years for Tron 3 and Jared Leto is in it. Guys, he's an Academy Award winner actor, guys, of that caliber. He'll be fine. Jared Leto on his way to ruin a beloved series with Tron Ares. No. And I'm guessing this has to do with some of the backlash to Morbius. It does, probably. The problem with Morbius, it wasn't him. The problem with Morbius was the script. This wasn't that good. It didn't give fans what they wanted to see from Morbius, right? Morbin time. It didn't give us that. They discovered that afterwards because executives had just looked at what people saw in the original source material and were like, people don't want to see that. It's like that old school mentality. That's what ruined Morbius. And we'll talk a little bit more about that old school mentality of executives later on in the show. Jared Leto being every smart and sensitive 90 girl's crush shouldn't entitle him to ruin every cool movie franchise till the end of time. I'm saying, what do you mean ruin? Guys, he was also in Blade Runner 2049, which I still think is a masterpiece. Denis Villeneuve. Come on. And yeah, Dallas Buyers Club, he was very, very good in that. But I liked him in other movies like David Fincher's Panic Room. That's where I really started to recognize that Leto had some serious talent. And I like the new aesthetic to it, but they do need a better leading man than Garrett Hedlund, because he just doesn't have the charisma. I'm sorry, he doesn't. You know who I would like to see come into this? If they're not going to bring Jeff Bridges back, you know who would be cool in a Tron a Tron sequel? Oscar Isaac. That's who I would pitch for a Tron. But yeah, it's the internet. You're allowed to have your own opinions. Jared Leto is back, but wait a minute. Wasn't it Cillian Murphy that was in Tron Legacy as kind of like a minor character? Like part of the board of the company that ran the company? Jared Leto was great in House of Gucci, yeah. Yeah, so I don't understand the backlash. And since they're showing lots of Morbius here, I'm guessing that's what people are saying. But guys, he didn't produce Morbius. He was just, he wanted to be that character because he likes these characters, right? And it's not as if his performance was awful or anything. It was just, what the hell was Matt Smith doing dancing in the middle of that movie, right? We really should have done a watch along for that, James. I'm sorry. But that's like the Tron 3 backlash. It's not... If you want to get out there and get all outraged by it, by all means, go ahead. But, hey, I got better things to do with my time. Tron 3, I'm looking forward to it. If it starts shooting this fall, well, then maybe late 2024. And that's good. That'd be good. I'm on board for this, because if they get a soundtrack back from like Daft Punk again, or some kind of new versions of that, awesome. And I like the sound design for Tron Legacy when the light bikes came out and everything. Oh, that was so awesome in the theater. And the recognizers when that came down with the big sound of them coming down. Yeah, there's Tron. It just has to be handled properly, and it looks like maybe the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean can handle this. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed on this one, guys. Scream 6 had a trailer this week, and some images that were posted. People have been dissecting that trailer apart. Everybody's been posting their trailer reactions, including myself right here. You can find that on the channel. And then posting their theories as to what's happening. Horror fans. We're horror fans here. Horror fans think they found a clue to Scream 6's Ghostface's identity. Well, that's part of the thing, right? And this is what's so cool about the Scream franchise, is that there's different murderers each time. The Ghostface is just a visage, It's not like Freddy or Jason, where it's like the same person that just has to keep coming back from the dead. It's anybody can pick up the mantle, and it's part of the mystery of trying to figure out who that killer is what makes the Scream franchise so fun, right? Because they throw in red herrings, they throw in misdirects. So people have picked apart the trailer and said that this guy is a top contender. Check out this deep cut from Dario Moshe de Velut. I don't know. 4 Flies of Grey Velvet. If you're familiar with the plot of that film, you can see similarity to the Scream franchise. So they're picking up on this guy's T-shirt. 4 Flies on the Grey Velvet shirt. Vertigo poster hints plot and theme. Yeah. We'll talk about this a little bit more on tomorrow's horror roundup, but there's like poster stuff in the background here that people are just kind of latching on to. Hey, you know what? Scream has a big fan base. People want to talk about it. People want to, look for those clues, try to get ahead of the curve. I prefer to leave a little of those mysteries for when the movie unfolds. March 10th, guys, Scream 6. We'll take a look a little bit more at that article and look at some of those other clues on tomorrow's Horror Weekly Roundup show. Okay, let's keep on with the horror headlines here, though, because they are there, and they are a bit curious, because The Last of Us also came out this week. It did, and we watched the first episode here on the channel. It sparked some Resident Evil fans out there. Resident Evil fans petition HBO to give The Last of Us treatment. So they've seen how people have resonated and, enjoyed The Last of Us episode 1, because it actually paid respect to the source material. And Resident Evil series last year, it didn't pay any respect to the source material. They just decided to make their own thing and slap Resident Evil on the name of it. I didn't hate the series, but I don't see how it was connected to Resident Evil. So fans of Resident Evil, you know, we are getting another Resident Evil movie, aren't we? Yeah. No. I think we are, aren't we? No? I think maybe that one got scrapped after the series failed. But anyway, they're taking to the petitions. Yeah. Fans of the Resident Evil game are calling to HBO Max to have an action series in the same vein as The Last of Us. Yeah. This is just one of those things where the studio executives looked at the property of Resident Evil and said, well, we can't make that into a game. People aren't going to watch it. Or they just felt like, well, they played the game before, so we don't need to redo it on the big screen. It's like, no, guys, you don't do that when you're trying to adapt a book. Why do you do that with video games? And HBO, The Last of Us is just like the number one case right now in everybody's mind is you adapted it and stayed true to the source material. Just do that. Just do that, guys. And why not? So, yeah, and Resident Evil does have a big fan base, as you can see. Why the response has been so positive, because they've even emulated shots from the game, right? The same kind of locations and stuff like that. Apparently the actors, Pedro Pascal, Gabriel Luna, worked hard on their accents to sound exactly like the game, because I saw people's reactions to it who did play the game, and they're like, that sounds exactly like the character. That looks exactly like the same location as this, where this happened. And it's kind of like, okay, good. I like to hear that. And I would love to have seen that for, well, actually, to tell you the truth, beyond Resident Evil, I would have loved to have seen that for Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I would have loved to have seen that for a Mortal Kombat. Tony Revolori, who played Flash Thompson in Spider-Man, is the best actor in the Willow series, and it's pretty bleak in quality. Willow. Yeah, I don't watch Willow. I just heard the bad reviews, and I was kind of like, I'm not going to bother keeping the. I'm going to sign back up for Disney Plus in March, and maybe I don't know. We'll talk about that in a few moments too. What I could do with that series. But what do you guys think about that petition? Would you sign that? Would you want to see a more faithful adaptation of the Resident Evil series from the games as a series? I would be on board for that. It's just a rights issue right now, because I still think Netflix may, even though they chose not to, I still think they've got like a year or so with the possibilities of still maybe changing their minds on it. Because Resident Evil, I think, is still under the Netflix banner. It could be rights issues that maybe, well, if they don't want to make it, and HBO does, maybe. Here's to keeping your fingers crossed, right, guys? Another series coming on Disney Plus will be Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Or is it going to be called Agatha, Coven of Chaos? Let's just take a look at this story. Agatha, Coven of Chaos set photo sparks speculation about the title change. So has it changed? Catherine Hahn is going to be back with Aubrey Plaza in the spin-off from WandaVision. Somebody posted a picture on their social media from the set. Tisanio, Agnes of Westview, Q. What is happening? And as you can't see here, well, you got to blow up the image, James, and take a look. It says Agnes of Westview on the chair. Agnes of Westview. Oh, Well, that's not Coven of Chaos. Guys, I'm guessing that it's just episode name or something. Agnes of Westview, or you know what? It could even be like a working title. That's just what they had made up before. They made a bunch of those before they solidified what the series name was going to be. It's just a chair. I mean, come on. They've been going pretty hard in telling us that it's going to be Coven of Chaos. No new title for the series lately. Yeah, Besides, well, it has changed though, right? It started off as Agatha House of Harkness. House of Harkness. Yeah. But then they changed it to Coven of Chaos. Could they change it to Agatha of Westview? Possibly. House of Harkness, I get a little bit more idea that it's going to be about Agatha. Coven of Chaos, I don't really know too much about because she killed all of her coven. So Coven of Chaos means what? She was going to put together a new coven made of people out of Westview, or people... I think somebody's going to come and break her out of Westview, and that stranglehold that Wanda put her in, of changing her to that... from that spell that she was put on under, right? So I'm looking forward to the series because Catherine Hahn is fantastic, and I'm really liking what Aubrey Plaza has been doing for the last couple year or so. So yeah, I don't really read too much into this. Agnes of Westview, I don't. James Gunn is trending. We'll take a look at that later on in the old Twitterverse roundup. Talking about all this stuff that you guys can see on the channel, let's just take a quick break and talk about what you can find here on the channel. Mirror Domains. We do series reactions, as I said, to The Last of Us. Episode 1 is up on the channel right now, guys. Every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we will be watching The Last of Us for all 9 episodes of The Last of Us. And we do series watch-alongs for things like, Kaleidoscope on Netflix, a heist series. Giancarlo Esposito leads a heist for a bank, or, well, not a bank, but like a vault. It's kind of like Ocean's 11, but you can watch it in any order. Very fascinating stuff. We do full movie watch-alongs for things like The Pale Blue Eye, Christian Bale, talking about Aubrey Plaza, Emily the Criminal, and yesterday we did a retro movie reaction for a Reese Witherspoon movie called The Man in the Moon, which actually caught me by surprise on how good it was. Yeah, we took that by request, and we're going to be opening up the doors here on the channel for taking requests for movies very soon, guys. This Saturday, tomorrow, 1 p.m., we'll be watching The Innocents for our horror movie of the week. We watch horror movies, yeah, that's what we do. I love horror, and it's about a bunch of kids with psychic powers that tell adults to like hurt themselves and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, there being Saturday in the morning, we'll be doing our Horror Weekly Roundup, talking about all the big horror movie news headlines of the week, talking about that Missing movie that just came out this week too, on the Horror Weekly there. And of course, you know, we do movie news live. We do trailer reactions, straight out of the theater reactions, movie reviews, little bits of entertainment news, shorts and stuff. Hey, if you like movies, everything movies here on Mirror Domains, you're going to really enjoy what you find. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe. And, yeah, enjoy the community, too, because we're really small. We're still a little small where you can chat with people in the live chat, build up relationships and friendships and stuff like that. Everybody's really nice to each other. So, yeah, we don't have any... once it gets going and we get big, there's going to be lots of people in there, and we'll have to extend our membership programs to in case we'll protect our little group here of people in chatting and stuff like that, right? Don't worry. We'll have actually, let's just talk about that now, because I will be expanding that, and I do have a tentative plan that I posted right now. It's up on the community tab. This is just sort of what I was filling out for the week, and I was thinking, guys, as brutally honest as the analytics are, people just aren't watching the movie news, and I'm just not breaking through. I know that there are people out there that watch the movie news stuff. Now, it's not tens of thousands of people that watch it, but I'm not getting through to even the thousands of people. YouTube logic tells you that if you just can't keep on beating a dead horse. This is just what I do. So we're going to limit the movie news. I was thinking about limiting the movie news to Mondays and Fridays. Mondays will be just an hour-long show in the morning, and Fridays will be kind of like a 2-hour show of all movie news, headlines, and stuff. We'll be doing shorts throughout the week, as you can see, talking about, you know, breaking movie news stuff, celebrity news stuff. making sure that people know that this channel is all about movies and stuff, driving towards the live shows for Monday and Friday. Mostly I want to do Monday because of the weekend box office report and stuff like that. But it's going to also free up a lot of time for us to do these movie reactions that I have just so much fun doing with you guys. I even though that the numbers are small, but they grow big. They're evergreen material, which means if somebody finds a movie that they've really been looking forward to, like say perhaps The Man in the Moon, which it'll be on here forever, and people will be able to come and watch that and line up their copies with it. It's kind of like what people tell you, like all the other reactors out there that say, go to my Patreon and sign up and you can see my full reaction. Well, it's like that, but you don't get to see the pictures on the side, right? I do it all live. I've become very, I think, good at making sure that I don't get that copyright claim or strike. And sometimes I do, sometimes I do. But if we can do that, as you can see there, I put March 1st for The Mandalorian below there. That's where that'll fit in. But retro movies on Thursdays, I do like that. We'll put those open for polls. We'll put polls up on the community tabs here on Mirror Domains, so you guys will be able to vote. It has to be something on a streaming service that I can get, like a Tubi and Netflix. Tubi and Netflix, well, Tubi is free, right? So Netflix is always my staple. I'll always have Netflix, and then I kind of been rotating between HBO, Prime, and Disney Plus. Those ones I'll be rotating for whatever show I can have access to, right? Between The Last of Us, The Mandalorian. I think in March when I sign back up for Disney Plus, I'm going to make it a permanent thing. I'm going to make Netflix and Disney Plus a permanent thing. And then I'll just rotate between HBO or Crave here in Canada and Prime. Although I really enjoyed Prime. Crave sucks. But while I have it, I might as well milk it for everything that I got. So we'll be doing retro movies from Crave and stuff like that, watch-alongs and stuff. And I'll be doing catch-up movies there on Tuesday. What's that about? Catch-up means like movies from 2022, 2021, from the last couple of years where, you know, it became available on a streaming service and I just hadn't seen it yet, kind of thing, right? We'll reserve it for that. And that's sort of what I'm feeling around here, guys. This is what my streaming schedule will sort of feel like. And it'll just give me a little bit more time to develop the movie news bits, try to make them a little bit more funny instead of just giving it to you guys straight. I don't know. It's just tentative. It's a thought in my head as to what I want to do. Because, you know, people are finding the movie reactions. Things like King Kong, it's just a slow. I look at the analytics to it. It started off small, just like The Man in the Moon will start off small, but it'll slowly start climbing over time, and people will find it and see what I'm doing with it. And I think you guys are really enjoying that kind of stuff. So YouTube says, do what people like to see. It is what it is. So yeah, the shorts will be movie news. You'll still get movie news on a daily basis. It'll just be relegated to the shorts, right? It won't be just like this, like an open format kind of thing. And if people still want to talk about it, maybe I can open up like a half an hour slot in the afternoons for maybe members to come and talk about movie news headlines as we prep for the main shows on Mondays and Fridays. That's just what I'm thinking. And we may experiment with it in February with that kind of a lineup. Well, that's what I'm thinking for the channel. That's what I'm thinking. Because you got to try it. You got to change things up from time to time. You got to adapt, right? What do you mean, Alec Baldwin? Be quiet. Arglass Viking says Resident Evil has much lore and source material. It would be great to see it expanded up. I love the movies. Mia Jovovich was well cast in the role. Yeah, she was. And she's great. She is great. She just kept on making movies with her husband there that just kind of, they both ran their franchises and their properties into the ground. Arglass says, go with your gut, James. Your content is good. You just need to catch the surf. Yeah, exactly. And exactly. movie news stuff is never, it's not going to be something that a million people want to watch. I know that. But if I can get into that market where at least, you know, the thousands of people are coming to check it out, because it is people, these are topics that people want to talk about. It's just, for some reason, YouTube just isn't breaking through to it. And maybe just a change up of pace will spark people's interests into what we do. Okay. Let's get back into that big story yesterday that broke while our Twitter roundup was going on yesterday. The Rust shooting, Alec Baldwin being charged. Now, guys, this is a developing story. It's evolving daily. We've got statements from Baldwin's lawyers and stuff like this, and it's nuanced. It's a nuanced thing. You have to sit down and you have to read all of these details to fully understand what you're talking about. And I'm just kind of like, when it happened, it was a tragedy. I thought they had come to an understanding of a reconciliation of events kind of thing. And they were going to finish out that movie and everybody was going to go on their way, because the family of the cinematographer that died, I thought had made peace with the studio and stuff like that. But now the authorities want to charge Alec Baldwin and the armorer, right? So this is as I said, is a nuanced thing, and people are going to be running with this story and talking about it, and we just don't have all the facts. Unless you sit down and you actually read the court documents and you read what the lawyers are saying, it gets bogged down and stuff. He's charged with involuntary manslaughter and some weapons charge of not handling arms properly, right? We saw this yesterday, and because of how sensitive it is, I'm a little hesitant in talking about it, because if I miss a detail, then it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of like you're doing a disservice. You're doing a disservice to the process that I guess the authorities want to play out. Now, there are things in there that people try to say that there's holes in the prosecutor's case and stuff like that, and that's what I mean by it being like a sensitive subject. What was it? 18 months was the maximum sentence that you could get for involuntary manslaughter under these rules and stuff like that. I don't expect any jail time for either of them, but it's just another big dark cloud of this chapter for Rust that I thought we had passed. And if the case falls through from the prosecutors, I wouldn't be surprised. They came out yesterday boasting that they've got an airtight case, that there's enough evidence there to charge them with these charges. And it's just one of those things, as I said, unless you sit down and actually read all of the transcripts and documents, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to be weighing into this, right? Because you don't want to come out and prematurely say, "Well, I'm on this guy's side. I trust this." It's just a situation. It's just a bad, ugly situation, and I'll keep my eye on developments. But it's just one of those things where I'm not comfortable talking about it. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's cheer us up a little bit again. Jason Momoa and the DCU. A Weaver says we support you, James. Oh, thank you very much, A Weaver. Yeah, because we do fun stuff here on the channel. We do. And then movie news isn't going anywhere. It'll still be here 2 times a week, right? Jason Momoa very enthusiastically hypes upcoming DCU announcement. Yeah, we knew that he had a meeting with Peter Safran and James Gunn, where I guess they broke some news that he's still going to be involved in some capacity. Now, will it be still as Aquaman? We don't know. Because he's not saying anything. And James Gunn was supposed to have this big DCU slate announcement like somewhere in January here, but come on, James Gunn. We're coming towards the end of the month here, and you haven't announced anything. There was supposed to be like a slate that was supposed to be announced, right? But if you go over and look at Jason Momoa's social media, Twitter, he's just come out recently again, reiterating that he's had a very exciting meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran. Now, he doesn't announce exactly what it is, but you can tell that he's hyped from it.
Others, right? Everyone's in the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't scream like that.
Again, it's a mystery, baby. We got, I got some really good news.
Yeah.
Great news with Warner Brothers. Amazing. Wish I could tell you, but here it is.
Yeah, so
Peter,
he's hyped.
I love you. James, I love you.
So
David.
Zaslav. He's talking about David Zaslav.
Okay. Mwah.
So he's hyped.
To the future.
To the future. So it wasn't a bad meeting between them. Now, people have speculated that it's going to be Lobo. Thing is that a lot of people have no idea who the heck Lobo is, right? You know that Momoa is a fan of the character. Is that really worth getting all hyped up about? And the thing is, too, I still don't know what's going to happen if Aquaman 2 comes out and it makes $1 billion. Are they going to, like, Aquaman 1 made $1 billion. If Aquaman 2 comes out and makes $1 billion, are they going to say, no more Jason Momoa Aquaman? How could you possibly say that? And say, no, we want to make a Lobo movie about a character that only a few people know about. It's kind of like, I don't know. Why is he so hyped about it, right? Because you know that was something that he's a fan of it, and he's excited for it. I just don't see them walking away from Aquaman if it makes $1 billion. Because people like him as Aquaman. I like him as Aquaman. I want to see more. I do. And I want to see Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So I don't know if it's maybe just a guarantee. Hey, if Aquaman is still good, we'll still do Aquaman movies with you. But we want to also make this Lobo thing with you. And if people have concerns as to how that's going to work, maybe we can tie it all together in some kind of Flashpoint universe where you actually get to meet each other in some way. That would be kind of weird. But it does seem like Momoa is hyped about some news. That's all we have, which is okay. To the future, he said. So he got some understanding as to what their plan is. And everybody would love more of the comic book fans would love that to be a Lobo adaptation of some kind, either as a series or a movie. But it seems like he's in the know, and I hope sooner rather than later, James Gunn comes out and tells us exactly what's going on. And then we can get our feathers ruffled that, hey, you keep Momoa, but you get rid of all these other characters. It's kind of like, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. All right, guys. This is Sundance week, right? Sundance Festival, movie festival. Dakota Johnson is there, I guess. Makes a racy Army Hammer joke at Sundance opening night. Who knew cannibalism was so popular? Yeah, apparently she was up for a movie with Luca Guadagnino or whatever the heck his name was. Guadagnino. He did Bones and All this year. He did a movie, Call Me By Your Name, with Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer. And I guess she was going to be up for a role in that movie. But she took a jab, threw some shade at Armie Hammer, because Armie Hammer, if you don't know anything about his controversy, he liked to eat people. Yes, what was it? A girl woke up and he was like sucking on her toes, like actually trying to bite at it and stuff. It's like, what the heck's going on, Armie Hammer? And that's why he's disappeared from the limelight. Yeah, she threw a joke at it, and it was just during an opening speech. And people reacted. Well,
I would have been another woman that Armie Hammer had tried to eat.
Yeah. You heard that? Whoa. But then you heard the chuckles too, so people are laughing about it. I don't think this situation with Armie Hammer was a laughing matter. It's just, hey, it was a fetish. And I don't know too much about fetishes because while I'm a fan of certain things, I don't have a fetish. Fetish means that you get some kind of gratification of just like having a cigarette or drinking a coffee or something like that, right? You get some kind of gratification from it. That was Armie Hammer's thing. That's what he liked to do. He liked to taste things. Now, he didn't actually kill or hurt anybody, but it was just weird, right? She said in her quote, "It's been 5 years since that film premiered. Call Me by Your Name, and Luca hasn't started taking us to exciting places." Wow. I think he has, because Bones and All was not. No! Who knew cannibalism was so popular? Yeah. Even evoking laughter from the crowd. I thought, guys, I'll be kind of honest with you. I like Dakota Johnson. We're going to see her in the Madame Web movie. I thought it lacked a little bit of class. There's my smugness coming through. You're right. I just felt like, yeah, maybe it's still a little too soon, right? A. Weaver says he's the best Aquaman I've seen, but he's also he's only one that I've seen, except the Saturday morning cartoon one. Yeah, I suppose, for talking about Jason Momoa being Aquaman. But we'll have to see what this news is. Maybe in the Twitter roundup we'll get some more news, because I saw that James Gunn was trending. But yeah, it is Sundance Film Festival. It's going on right now. So people will be coming out with their reviews and movies they've seen and stuff. The ones that I want to see that one with Mike Khaleesi. Yeah, whatever one she's in. And I think I heard that, there's going to be one with Daisy Ridley. I thought I could find an article where it would like post up a list of what's being shown there, but I kind of like half-assed put this together because I'm not really interested. Oh yeah, there's that one with Daisy Ridley. Sometimes I think about dying. Yeah, basically it's just a festival where all the critics get together and see movies before they come out and get to start writing their puff pieces about it. And am I jealous? Not really. I mean, I've lived next to the Toronto for years and decades. Yeah, decades now. So I've always had the opportunity to try to go see movies at TIFF. I just never did because it's busy and, well, maybe this year I'll try to go to TIFF. I'll try to get a ticket to a viewing at something that'll debut at TIFF and see if I enjoy the experience or not. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right. But we'll see. We'll keep our eye out for reviews that come out. Because as I said, did I pull one here for, yeah, that Daisy Ridley one. People are starting to come out with their reviews and stuff, trying to build the early buzz. But I find like this is the traditional way of marketing movies, right? You would show the movie to a few critics and they would write pieces in newspapers and on online stuff. But now it's more like the online fan community is doing more to promote the movie than, the critics ever could. And that's the way I feel. Because people are watching the shorts, right? They're watching the TikTok generations are watching their small little 5-minute or 5-second clips of something that'll get them hyped. So yeah. There we go. I'll be keeping my eyes out for these reviews, looking for certain movies that kind of like catch my eye. Yeah, for sure. Our Glass Viking says I could definitely watch a Lobo and The Crow double feature. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Byford the Hobbit says you can watch Sundance movies at home. Can you? Well, they were doing it virtually last couple of years. I don't know. For the critics, the few critics that I tolerate, I seen them there at the Sundance, like Scott Mance and Perry Nemiroff, right? All right. What else do I got here? Hit or miss headlines. Let's talk about that. If it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll move on. Every time Taylor Swift has appeared in a feature film. Guys, hey, you know, I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and this is from Amsterdam. Oh, God. If you ever watched Amsterdam, very, like, she is a good actress. And I'm glad that she's going to make her movie on her own. So this is kind of a hit movie, of a hit headline for me. And if you know what happens next to her in the scene after this, whew, wow. And that's what I meant when I saw this movie, is because she has a scene in it where it's just like she starts off the tone for it. And she's very effective in it too. I want to rewatch Amsterdam. And I want to watch it with you guys too, because Christian Bale was very, very good in that too. And I know a lot of people hated it. But let's just take a look at what all the other movies she's appeared in. Hannah Montana. I never watched that. Miley, I guess she was in that. Boy, she looks young in some of these, right? She looks very young. Valentine's Day 2010. She's 33 now, so she would have only been like 21 here. 21? Okay, yeah, she still would have looked that young. She was a voice in The Lorax. The Giver. Now, I watched The Giver. That was kind of like a sci-fi one with what was it? Brenton Thwaites was in that? Right? Is that who was in? And he goes into this building where there's a girl playing a piano, and she's the girl that plays piano. When I first saw it, I didn't know that was her, because I wasn't a fan of Taylor Swift at the time, and I could actually give two rats about her, right? And then, of course, we know that she was in Cats. That her scene is the only scene worth watching in that movie, just to see what she did. She spent a lot of time rehearsing and preparing for that movie. She did. And that's what I admire about her, is that she, at least, whatever she does, she gives her all. She invests her time and discipline into delivering us some goods. Either if it's acting on screen or dancing or singing. She's awesome all around. That's what I feel. Taylor Swift, sorry guys. I know that it's a headline out there that I just picked because I'm a big fan. Huge fan. What's next? Some bummer news. This is also a hit. David Crosby, and Crosby, Stills, and Nash was found dead. Died yesterday, right? 81 years old. Yeah. Bummer. What's he playing there? An A minor? Or a C? That could be a C or an F. Yeah. Were you guys a fan? Let me just show you what I mean by the chord positions here of what he could be playing. So, see, I'm holding it. This is an A. This is an A minor. So it sort of looks like that, right? But I guess, no, if that's a C, we can't exactly see. He could be rotating from an A minor to a C and an F. F looks very much like a C because you just move your fingers a different fret down, right? Yeah. But he has passed on, so may he rest in peace. Guitarist David Crosby. Did we get a reason? Has died. A cause of death has not been revealed. But 81, anything over the 80s, guys, you just kind of have to, well, not live your days as if it could be as if it were your last day, but sort of like us, right? Just over your 80s, it's kind of like it's a life well lived. And it sucks because my parents are coming up to that age. So it's kind of like, you got to relish and cherish every day that you get, right? Don't waste time doing stuff that you don't want to do, that you hate doing, right? Or spend time working on stuff that you don't like doing to get to the places that you want to get to, right? Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yeah. He had a great run. Yes, he did. All right. That's all I had on hit or miss. Except for let's take a look at what's opening up this weekend, guys. If you didn't know, if you follow me on the social medias, I was supposed to go see a movie called Missing yesterday. And I was ready to go into the theater and everything. And then when I got in, it was kind of like, I'm sorry, the copy that we have has been corrupted. We have to cancel this show. And I was so bitter and angry coming out of the theater. But Missing, I'll be going out to see it today because I wanted to do my review for it today. I wanted to talk about it on the show, my review for Missing, but I'll be seeing it exactly in 50 minutes. I'm not seeing it at this theater. I'm seeing it at a Cineplex. But I wanted to take a look at what else is coming out this week. So I'll be watching Missing later on today. My straight out of the theater reaction for Missing will be posted up probably around 4 o'clock-ish or so. But what else is opening up in wider release is the movie The Son with Hugh Jackman. That drama about, his kid doesn't like that he's left his birth mother and is now with another woman kind of thing. It's got Anthony Hopkins, Laura Dern. This movie came out in limited release last year to try to get some awards buzz, which it didn't. So it didn't succeed in that aspect. But it's getting a wider release now. The Son. I do like Hugh Jackman, and I did like the trailers for it because it looked like Hugh Jackman was going to give like a rather interesting performance. So I may go out and check that out later this weekend if I get some time. Except it's playoff football weekend, guys. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I also had to go and see The Man Called Otto, which I've been holding off for because my mama wants to go out and see the new Tom Hanks movie, and I've been holding it off. I was supposed to go see it this week, but plans came up and she couldn't go see it, so I think I'm taking it to her this next Tuesday. And if she can't go, then I'll go see it by myself, right? But I'll see that, and yeah. If you're thinking about other things to see, Plane is always good if you haven't seen that. Yeah. I think that's I think we do have some international things that we can take a look at here too. Things that are opening up. Kutch Express. Never even heard of it. Kuti. Hindi action film. For some reason, some theaters still playing Babylon, only in one showing. I don't know how you think that that's profitable. But Avatar is still going to be... Oh, The Fabelmans is still playing. And so is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And we know that Black Panther is opening up in China now too, so, right? Bifer says, I'm going to see the new Wandering Earth 2 on Sunday. Okay, cool. So that Missing movie, Storm Reed, right? I'm going to see that fairly soon here. Yeah. Early buzz 7.6 is fairly good, so I don't want to spoil myself. It's high up there. And it looks like it's more of a mystery thriller and not so much of a horror, right? It's kind of like a found footage kind of thing. I don't know that much about it. And I like that. Every now and then, actually, I do go into a movie where I don't know that much about it. So that's what I'll be checking out. And then, of course, I'll do my straight out of the theater reaction. I already got my tickets booked again. So hopefully this time I won't walk in and it'll be blocked. It better not be. It better not be. All right, let's round out the day and the week by taking a look at the old Twitter roundup. See what's going on out there. Or the Reddit roundup, I should say. See if I missed anything. See if any trailers dropped. Not seeing a whole lot here. Robert Pattinson attends fashion show in Paris. He just had a big article up too in Hollywood Reporter, right? Talking about the unrealistic expectations of men in film about like diets and stuff like that. And I've seen that Hugh Jackman had a thing about diets as well too, about how the Wolverine diet really took a toll on him. Because people just men don't look like Wolverine, right? Alex Wolff has reportedly joined Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn in A Quiet Place Day One. Okay. Yeah, we are getting a spin-off from the Quiet Place movies. Day One. Lupita Nyong'o. Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, Season 4. Yeah. Arglass Viking says Babylon is only opening up here today. I'm giving it a solid pass until it reaches a streaming platform. Well, yeah, that's what I recommend. Because if you're curious about it, at least, yeah, wait for streaming. Because you'll be wanting to watch Babylon with a fast forward button on it. You will. Rami Malek will star as Buster Keaton in a new TV series from Matt Reeves. Really, Matt Reeves is taking... See, no, okay. This is a cool headline. Yes, Rami Malek playing Buster Keaton is... Well, that'll be kind of cool. And yes, it would be cool that it's from Matt Reeves, but I don't want to hear Matt Reeves working on anything else but Batman 2. Because I don't want to wait 5 years for Batman 2. I really don't. I mean, if he's got time to deal and to produce TV shows, I don't know. Anything that takes his work away from Batman 2, it kind of like, nah. You guys understand where I'm coming from with that, right? Sarah Snook, star of Run Rabbit Run, has been acquired by Netflix. It will be released this year. Okay, so Run Rabbit Run is also something that debuted at Sundance, right? A psychological thriller that follows fertility doctor who is forced to confront a ghost from her past when she notices her young daughter behaving strangely. Like trying to get, pregnant or something? 6 years ago, Split came out. It's been 6 years? That was a lot of people's first exposure to Anya Taylor-Joy, but we saw her in The Witch first, right? Jack O'Connell, Eddie Marzen, and Leslie Manville have joined the Amy Winehouse biopic, Back to Black. Okay, that's still moving in full force. Agatha, Coven of Chaos has begun filming. Well, we know that because we saw that story today. Filming is set to begin in August in Vancouver for Tron Ares. Yeah, that's where we started. Doesn't say anything there about the Backlash. Gossip Girl has been canceled by HBO Max after 2 seasons. Okay. Priyanka Chopra. We saw that yesterday. Okay, so that's where we were yesterday. It's not that much. Okay, guys, it's been an hour, and I'm going to run out here and go to the theater and watch this movie, Missing. Thank you for joining me. As I said, I'm going to have that schedule up in my mind for the next, for the weekend here, and just toil around with how I feel about it and stuff. Some really exciting stuff coming. Some changes. We'll be going, like, as I said, I want to push the gas pedal to the floor with these reactions, with these movie reactions, because it's kosher. It's playing by the rules of YouTube, and I enjoy it. So I'll be thinking about it all weekend as how to have that work. And if not, join us tomorrow for the Horror Weekly and for The Innocents. That will be up on the channel tomorrow. We'll be watching The Innocents. That'll be up on HBO for people in the States, Crave in Canada. The Innocents. Looking forward to that. Enjoy your weekend, guys, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. Hit that thumbs up button for sure. Yeah.